Was that Kyle on the radio?
I believe it was. I mean, he made a big run at him and just didn't get it done. And you can see now McMurray able to stretch it back out a little bit.
Yeah, he was really hoping while he had his tires fresh that he had enough to get to his rear bumper, maybe loosen him up or try to get in front to take some of that aero away from him. But Jamie's kind of stretched things out.
Well, if Jamie holds on to this, we'll be going back to that last restart because that slick little move is what got him this first place.
Well, Kyle kind of got trapped in behind, I believe it was Josh Wise.
Now there you can see the
Carl Edwards coming, trying to get up there to battle Kyle Busch for that second spot.
I'll tell you what, McMurray has opened up a 0.6 of a second lead, and he is 0.2 of a second quicker than Kyle on that last lap. And Carl Edwards was 0.2 of a second quicker than Kyle Busch. So you're right, the 60 is trying to come.
Yeah, Andy was right. Jamie was just in the right spot at the right time. His line kind of went because Brad Keselowski was the leader. He took off, got ahead. The 18 got trapped behind Josh Wise, and that got Jamie a little bit of breathing room. But he did have Kyle right on his bumper, and he's been able to stretch it out since then.
We mentioned before when the caution came out that it was bad news for Harvick. He has slipped back in fourth position, 2.5 seconds back. And remember, the leader on the restart, Brad Keselowski, he has dropped to 11th, now 9.2 seconds behind.
Well, it's a big gamble. I mean, he's gambling on getting a caution here in the next 15 laps or so, and then he'll be able to come back on and pass these guys back.
Now watch McMurray on this restart.
We can see that's where Brad took off, so that got Jamie the opportunity to get right there, and in just enough space to cut down inside. Kyle was having to kind of feather the throttle a little bit before he could get past the start-finish line. Lost a little bit of time, but there again, Kyle was able to run up to the bumper, and now Jamie stretched it out to almost a second lead.
Well, we can tell you that Kyle Busch has clinched most laps led for the 9th time in 2010, and he has not lost this season after leading the most laps. But right now, he's got to make up a full second to get back into the lead.
Blowing his brains off. Why do we always get cute? Why do we always get cute? Stupid.
Why do we always get cute? What do you think he's
Well,
referring
it must have been
to?
some kind of adjustment, whether it was tire pressure or something that they tried there, and it obviously is not to Kyle's liking right now.
Well, next time by, there'll be 14 laps to go, and you can see the difference right there. Doc, what are you hearing down on pit road?
There was a discussion before that last pit stop. Kyle said, look, I'm loose in and tied off. I can't run the top side. And he asked Jason Ratcliffe, the crew chief on the right side, said, try to fix it. Try to fix my loose in and tied off. Jason said, I'm going to put a half a round back in of what we took out of that left rear, and I'll try to help you with some air pressure in the rear to help the grip level. When he did that, I think now that he's got too much grip back there and the car is tight. Now, you heard the comment a moment ago from Kyle. What you didn't hear was Jason said, look, if we get a caution flag and we can close up and get clean air on the nose, you will beat him. You will beat Jamie McMurray. I believe that will happen. Just hang on. And right now, Kyle said, I can't even hang with him.
Yeah, I think that car's really tight. You can see Kyle having to get all the way down, literally his left front tire down below the yellow line there, trying to get that car to rotate through the center of the corner. So that tells me his car's really tight right now.
Let's get an update on Jamie McMurray, who's got a full second lead, Dave.
Marty, a couple reasons why McMurray should win this race. First of all, the car is a former winner. As I don't know, Kyle still looks pretty racy back there, but the car was campaigned by Brad Keselowski last year to a win at Michigan in August. Also, Jamie's a pleasure to work with. These guys love working with Jamie McMurray, and that's good karma. Oh, one more thing. The first time he ever won in the Nationwide Series was right here. It was back in 2002, October. Jamie's got some good feelings about Atlanta.
Well, the lead is now down to 0.8 of a second, as we'll have 11 laps to go next time by.
Kyle Busch is driving the wheels off of this thing. You just see him. He just has the wheels moving, doing everything he can, but that car's just so tight. And how much has Jamie McMurray's stock gone up this year? Won the Daytona 500, Brickyard 400, gets in this car that hasn't won. Now looks like he may be on his way, even though he's got some lap traffic to encounter here.
And don't forget, he's got 2 more chances to make the chase. He's 100 points behind that 12th and final spot. We'll find out what happens tomorrow night on ESPN. He gets past the 70 of Mark Green safely. Now Eric McClure will take him on the high side.
Yeah, that really wasn't what he was hoping. He was hoping he could go to the bottom there. That probably cost him just a little momentum, but you can see he's still got a nice lead.
McClure is 30th, 6 laps down. Green was 11 laps down in 32nd. And you see him go by the 28 as well as Kenny Wallace. Kenny is 4 laps down in 25th.
Yeah, and they're even going through those 4-lap cars on that one lap. He only lost 2/100ths of a second to Kyle Busch.
Now he's got clean air again, and it's just a battle between the two of them. Kyle, getting a little loose.
Like that tight condition's going away a little bit.
Well, I think it's because he's probably going down in there and really jerking the wheel some to try to get this car turned where he can stay in the throttle.
Next time by, there'll be 8 laps remaining, and the lead has remained constant at about 0.8 of a second. Here comes Carl Edwards again, sneaking back into the picture in 3rd.
Keselowski's gamble is kind of going away on him with only 9 to go. If he doesn't get a caution here in the next few laps, he won't have enough laps to do anything with his tires.
That's what happens when you have a big points lead. You can try to take a gamble like that and just see if you could maybe, have things go your way.
As we mentioned, Carl is closing on Kyle. You can see the gap right there. We're on board with the 18.
Carl's moved up to that higher side and trying to make that work, seeing if he can get some momentum going and maybe overtake Kyle. You can see Kyle's pretty much committed to the bottom side in this run.
It's Brad Baker they're going around. Baker's 26th right now, 5 laps down. Got 4-lap traffic in front of Kyle Busch. And right now the lead is 0.9 of a second as he has to maneuver around the 26 of Brian Keselowski, who had a birthday last Thursday. Carl Edwards clears him as well.
See, things have kind of just stabilized here between the 3 cars. They'll beat each other by 1/10 or so. A lot of that is just depending on where they might catch the lap traffic they encounter.
Well, like Wade said, we may be looking back at that last restart as the defining moment of this race. And it was great for Jamie McMurray and not so great for Kyle Busch. He could not find a way to get around Josh Wise.
Yeah, because if Kyle Busch could have gotten up front, got some clean air, he had the setup, just like Jason Ratcliffe said. He said, if you got clean air on the nose, we've got the setup we need.
There's Josh as he is in 11th position. He has just moved Brad Keselowski back to 12th. We only have 13 cars on the lead lap. In fact, Justin Allgaier is the last car in 13th.
Josh Wise has had another solid night. We talked about his qualifying effort. We talked about the 6 times in this car. He had an average finish of 13.5. He's going to improve on that a little bit tonight, so he's really done a nice job.
And everything is sort of calmed down where we thought we might have some late race dramatics. There you can see Jamie McMurray a little loose there, but still an 0.8 of a second lead. We've had a total of 5 leaders with 9 different lead changes. And Kyle Busch may have led the most laps tonight, but that streak may be broken.
I'm going to tell you, Kyle Busch is going to keep Jamie McMurray honest. He's going to make him make good laps every single lap here to the end. And if he makes a mistake or bobbles, Kyle's going to be right there.
Yeah, they ran the exact same down to the 1,000th of a second the last time. Kyle beat him by just about 8/100ths this past time. But that was because Jamie got a little bit loose and hit one of those seams. And when you hit that, it's just like you've hit ice for just a split second.
On that last wide shot, you saw Trevor Bayne take it down pit road. He's 3 laps down in 19th position. And as we continue to watch the closing laps here, there's your top 3. And as you can see, the interval now 0.7 of a second. So he has finally started to narrow it a little bit. But there's only going to be 3 laps to go.
Yeah, this is when Kyle wished this was a 200-lap race at 300 miles, but this racetrack's just over 1.5 miles in the way that it's measured, so it's 195.
Down to 0.6 of a second, as you can see. Can he pull this off?
Yeah, and there's a little draft effect coming in right now. As he gets this close, he can get a little bit of a pull here. That may help him.
Coming by the stripe next time, there'll be 2 laps remaining.
2 to go.
Kyle Busch is in the gas, guys.
It's down to 0.5 second. Now 0.4 of a second. And here comes Kyle.
I tell you, Kyle's not going to let him breathe. He's going to make him run this car as hard as he can go.
Still at 0.4 of a second. Will lap traffic play a factor? It's John West Townley that he's approaching now.
It's going to depend on where he's going to give him the inside, and McMurray likes that idea. If he'd had to go around him on the high side and Kyle would have been able to stay on the bottom, that could have made a huge difference, but don't think he's going to get there now.
White flag, Jamie, white flag, bring it home.
1.5 miles to go for Jamie McMurray. Kyle Busch trying all he can, but I just don't think there's going to be enough time for him to pull it off. It'll be the first time